Thank you very much for watching, wherever you happen to be. Do appreciate it. Now, Peter Dutton has pushed back against more media reporting that seemed to suggest that the wrong thing to do was to make sure that common sense prevailed and that the people who did nothing wrong in Afghanistan will be able to continue on with their military citations. Now, as you know, there was an attempt to strip every one of their citations after the Brereton report had come out, and there was no consequences for the brass, but it was the men who had been doing the hard work in Afghanistan who effectively were not going to be recognised for the good work that they did. Never forget that. Peter Dutton said this today about the re-emergence of the advice to do the exact opposite of the common sense decision.
I took the decision that I thought was in the best interests of our country and in the best interests of the men and women of the Australian Defence Force. There are thousands of men and women who served with great honour and distinction in the Afghanistan campaign and in Iraq as well over the course of the last 2 decades, and I'm not going to dishonour their service.
Heston Russell joins us to talk about this, of course, the Voice of the Veteran founder and a man that we love talking to. Now, Heston, you won this battle, you fought it, you made it a cause that we all got involved with. Your advocacy of this was absolutely clear. And surprise, surprise, there were people who were trying to push back against common sense. You got this fight. But what does it say that even after the fight was won, even after the Defence Minister had made the right decision, that there are still people willing to run off to the newspaper to say he didn't do what I said he should do?
Well, g'day, Paul. It's good to be back with you and the team on Sky. And all I can say is desperation is a stinky cologne. And Angus Campbell is on his way out. He's looking down the lens of what's going to be his legacy. And his legacy was making one of the biggest mistakes in front of the entire world. And it's his moral authority that he's trying to recover, not that of the Australian Defence Force.
And this is what I don't understand, right? Which again, you know, I'm always a bit critical of parts of the media that want to keep things going longer than, you know, we've had the tit for tat, we've had the fight, we had the arm wrestle, but let's go into the third, the fourth, the fifth round. And I don't know whether, as you say, it's about, you know, somebody trying to, as you say, make a bit of noise on their way out, and the real story comes later. But to me, again, what's the point in trying to throw some shade in the direction of the minister and yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, people are saying that this is undermining us in the global theatre, and all that we're doing is, you know, shooting ourselves in the foot with this continuously being in the media. You know, this comes in the context of everything we've just gone through with the government and Minister Dutton calling a Royal Commission to veteran suicide because the mental health crisis facing our veterans, and then we're still bringing up these things that we have official government decisions that are part of those instruments tearing at that sense of identity and that community and that purpose and all those things that has been affecting our veterans, you know, and that we've been going through collectively for too long now. So as opposed to putting articles and information out there that could be supporting our community, we keep continuously focusing on these negatives, and they're just so uneducated. It's not funny, but I mean, you tell me, Paul, how does this stuff get airtime?
It's a very good point, which is why I wanted to go to you to try to push back in all of this. So let's talk about some broader issues here, and I want to give you the chance to give a bit of a plug about what you guys are doing at the moment. I know you've got podcasts and all the great stuff on the website for everyone to keep up on at the moment, but have you guys got a campaign? What else is running across your desk at the moment that we need to keep an eye on, mate?
Well, Paul, so we recently did our consultation parallel to the Department of Veterans Affairs for the terms of reference for the Royal Commission, and we're awaiting eagerly the Attorney General's decision on that. And in the meantime, we've assembled a team of volunteers that's currently conducting proactive outreach to those who came forward to contribute to those terms of reference and express that they had suffered mental health issues throughout their service. We finished up with 865 submissions to the Attorney General, and over 100 people indicated that they had attempted suicide, and over 300 had indicated that they had contemplated suicide. So we've pretty much been scrambling to commence a proactive outreach to those who've reached out to us. And we're actually looking to then step up a new charity organisation that is going to work in parallel to the Royal Commission to conduct exactly this proactive follow-up to veterans and families who are going to come forward and be affected by this Royal Commission. Because the biggest lesson learned from myself and from our community is not actually the release of the Brereton report, but the 4.5 years of the Brereton inquiry, where people were required to come forward, give evidence, and isolated. And that's where I lost more guys to suicide than in Afghanistan during that period of that uncertainty and those triggering actions that were brought about by that investigation. So we as a community are building this new organisation. Voice of a Veteran is joining with a number of other ex-service organisations, and we're setting up a team of volunteers, and we're going to be looking to grow and grow with the nation's support, as I've shown previously, to conduct this proactive outreach and actually start to turn the tides on just having a reactive mental health process and have it be veteran-led with veterans and our families doing that.
You are a good man. Thank you, Heston. Make sure everyone checks out your website. Good on you, mate. Voiceofaveteran.org.au is where they are.